Good evening, Miss Allen. So you want to know more about the pen tool. The pen tool is great, and I know that it's sort of intimidating, but just hang in there, and once you get the hang of it, you're going to be so happy and you're going to use it for everything. So to recreate the logo for the B&B for the technical exercises, my recommendation would be to start in Photoshop and just bring that into Photoshop, the whole card, because it's all one PDF. Bring that into Photoshop, crop out only the portion that you need. So I'm in Photoshop now. I'm going to unlock the layer. I'm going to crop this portion only because we don't need the whole thing. We're just recreating that logo. And I'm going to straighten that up a little bit so that'll be one less thing we have to worry about when we pull it into Illustrator. So I'm going to crop that. Now I'm going to copy it and paste it into Illustrator. So I'm going to tab over to Illustrator. I've already opened up a document and I'm going to paste that in there. Here are my layers. I've already set up my layers. So I have a template layer and I have a layer for the pen tool drawing. So just like layers in Photoshop, you can name your layers in Illustrator. I'm going to make this as large as I can and lock that layer down. Whoops, I'm going to lock that layer down. So that way I won't accidentally erase something or draw on it, or, well, I guess I could draw on it, but I'm going to draw on the layer above. So I'm going to pick the pen tool, and then I'm going to pick a color from the color picker that provides a lot of contrast. I'm going to zoom way in, get it where I need to. So you can do this a couple of ways. So you can start by outlining, sort of following the curves of the letters. And don't be afraid to undo and redo and start again, that kind of thing. But don't get too obsessed with making sure that you follow those curves, because you can with the anchor points that you're putting down, those little square boxes, and the handles, the little things that kind of fly out from the anchor boxes, you can make adjustments with those. So right now what I'm doing is just sort of tracing as close to the center of this B as I can. And this is an odd little area up here. So now when you click and drag after you've put down an anchor point, when you drag, that's what allows you to make those curves. And so areas like these, I'll just have to go back and adjust some of these anchor points and some of the curves using the handles. So now I'm almost at the end of the B, and I have a line drawn. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go up to, just hit escape when you're finished drawing with the pen tool. You don't have to have a closed path. I'm going to go to my direct selection tool, and I'm going to click on those anchor points and make some minor adjustments using the handles. And again, this just doesn't have to be perfect when you first draw it. And the whole point of vector art is that you can move those outlines and make edits. So getting that just a little bit closer. So, and just a few more small little adjustments. And I'm doing this fairly quickly because I have been working with the pen tool for years and years and years. So if you're not comfortable with the pen tool, or you're just starting out, it's going to be slower going, but as I said, you're going to really appreciate all that you can do with the pen tool. You can also use it in other applications such as InDesign and Photoshop. Okay, so now I've got that looking pretty much like it's along the bends of this B. So I'm going to go to Object and Path and Outline Stroke. So what that's going to do, we'll turn on the preview. outline preview, that is going to basically turn this into 2 lines, like a solid shape. So you can go in and you can manipulate that shape. And I'm going to speed this up for you. So just hold on, and the next few minutes are going to be just like cranked up warp speed, selecting with that direct select tool and making some adjustments. Okay, so that's one way to go about redrawing this with the pen tool. You can also do an outline, and with the outline, same principle, you're creating a solid shape. So when you do that, you can create one shape and then the shape on top of that shape, and then use the Pathfinder tool to create a compound shape. So for example, I've created the outside of the E. I'm going to create the bowl of the E, the inside of the E, and I'm going to subtract that from the back, not the background layer, but the layer, the shape rather, that's in the back. Sorry. And that's a little lumpy. So I'm going to go to the stroke. I'm going to make that stroke very thin, and then I can make those adjustments. But yeah, that is pretty much the pen tool in a nutshell. So don't be afraid of it, embrace it. And I'm not going to draw the entire logo for you, but you can see. I'll turn on and off the preview. I'm going to turn the B and the E, B, black. So that's how you create vector art using the pen tool in Adobe Illustrator. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. Give me a shout, let me know, and we'll continue working through these problems in digital print production. Alrighty, well, have a good evening and take care.